up, let's raise our awareness about clean pipe water. Now, the World Health Organization has guidelines about water quality. So, is your household being piped in with clean, safe water? And how safe is it for, well, a lot of communities in this country? Do they have access to it? Now, we're going to be discussing this topic with my guests here. We have Yasmin Rashid, the president of EcoKnights. Also, Fadli Bakhtia, program director from EcoKnights, and Linda Lee, general manager of Avida Malaysia. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for having us. Very pleased to have you. Now, first, let's start with EcoKnights and also Avida. Your collaboration has started, what, since 2005?
2012?
2012. 2012, all right.
So this is our third year.
Okay, and your mission here is to bring clean water to some unfortunate communities here in Malaysia.
Right.
Now, talking about the water system and the water quality, for us, living in, no matter where you are, suburbs or rural, how clean is the water that's being piped in to our homes?
Well, just a comparison. When I was growing up, as a child, there was no need for actually the installation of water filters.
Okay.
We drank straight from the pipe in the 70s and 80s. Now, I think it's almost unimaginable not to have a water filter at home. It actually probably stems from the fact that even though most of the water that comes to our pipe in our homes are treated, but the state of pollution of our rivers has gone down the drain. So many of the treatment stations are probably not able to treat it because it's so polluted. And number two, if you look at the piping of water, there are some instances where some pipes accidentally get burst, and that it actually invites sedimentation that actually goes into our piped waterways. So if you live in an area where you are comfortable not having a water filter, I think many of us are very concerned. I think many of us have, you open just the pipe, you can either smell the difference or taste the difference.
Or sometimes discoloration. You see a little bit more brownish than usual, and that happens at some days.
Yeah. So I think the water filter companies are having a big time right now because we are obviously concerned about what we consume. Water is very critical for us to maintain, health and the balance in our body. So compared to before, many societies that are marginalized, are not of the same economic status as many of us in urban areas, therefore are not able to purchase water filtration systems, even though they desire to drink clean water. So it all stems from how can a campaign like that help communities. We all feel everyone should have equal access to clean water.
And that's a basic human right, would you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So we hope this campaign is able to raise awareness for urbanites like us who are able to afford water filter stations. Maybe it doesn't hurt our pocket that much, but for other communities, I think some of them actually save out money to buy bottled water.
Yes, true. Now, Linda, for the collaboration and also for Walk for Water, now it's been happening for the past few years.
Yes.
And how different is this year's campaign compared to the past?
Right. The main objective of Walk for Water is actually just part of the activity that Avida in the global network do. Every year in end March all the way to April, the whole community for Avida actually do different activity during this month that we call the Earth Month to bring awareness not only for clean water, but also environmental issue and so forth since 1999. So, but since 2006, it has been focusing on clean water, and doing different activity around all the network of 8,000 professional hair salon and also spa and our retail center. So, so Walk for Water is actually just one of the activity that we have started in all around the world. And in fact, not only in Malaysia, all the other countries also doing it almost the same time.
Right.
So, and in Malaysia, this is third year now. The objective is still remain the same, but however, we of course change a little bit in terms of the program, the involve more engaging to our participant and the activity that we have during the event
itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the event this year focused on a community that's based in Pasir Gudang, Johor, right?
Correct.
Previously, you guys made a whole lot of difference to an island.
Yes.
People who live on an
Mantanani.
island
Yeah.
in Sabah.
Sabah.
In Sabah.
Mantanani
Okay.
is in Pulau Mantanani off Kota Belud in Sabah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a very inspiring story because Yasmin was mentioning to me earlier that the community didn't have any water access, didn't have any piping water. They were just using water from
The ground.
From
the ground.
So they would dig holes and get water.
Right. And the alarming thing is that where the waste go, it's very close by to the water source.
Correct.
And you guys managed to harvest water from the rain for them.
What we did was we built 4 big rainwater
tank, yeah.
harvesting stations. Because the school was a suitable area to capture rain. It was a big compound, so we utilized the roof structure and channel all the rainwater collected to the tanks, which then send it to a filtration system. On top of that, the water station also extracts a safe groundwater source. What is critical here is that all the water is essentially filtered in the station first, and any community can actually go there and draw down the water to drink.
Oh, that makes a whole lot of difference because I cannot imagine having to go to the toilet and having a water source very much close to it because that's such a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes,
for you, Fadli, for this year's collaboration, you're focusing on a different community.
Yes.
Now, what's happening there in Pasir Gudang?
In Pasir Gudang, we have this, actually there's a community of indigenous people. We call it the Orang Laut of Seletar.
Orang Laut?
Yes, they are the indigenous people back hundreds of years back.
Okay.
They are, basically, historically, they are the protectors of the land.
Right.
So, but after, like developments and heavy developments especially in Johor, the communities there are being pushed away to the land. And because of that, there's a lot of issues or like concerns that is happening to them, such as no access to all these basic amenities for the communities. So we have been working with them for 3 years now. This is the 3rd year we have been working with the Orang Laut Seletar to help elevate or giving them more focus on the kids and also the adults on how they can have a better livelihood,
Right.
for the communities.
And this is pertaining to access of piped water.
They have piped water, but like I said, in homes we also have our own filter systems, but they don't have that.
A filtration system.
Yeah, I wish I can tell you how exactly the condition of their living there.
How bad is it?
They need
In a
attention.
nutshell.
They need attention. Not just water, but of course, the education of the kids. Going to schools and all that. So
Health.
EcoKnights have been health issues, even electricity issues and stuff like that.
Right.
So we are trying to figure out how we can help them. There's a lot of ways, but working with Aveda in this particular event is to help provide a filtration system for the houses.
Okay.
So as we take it one by one.
Right.
Yeah.
Start with water because water is really life.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So finally, just before you leave us, message from from Linda how people can participate and also support your movement.
Right. Of course, we actually have a limited edition candle that we call Light the Way candle that we are selling in all our store. Yeah, at only about 45 ringgit, and 100% of the proceeds actually will go to EcoKnights. And actually, internationally, the proceeds of the candle go to another NGO international called Global Green Grant Fund. Okay. Again, also the NGO support all this grassroots movement. that, you know, we help one at a time. So we like to start small, from clean water, it'll go to education, it'll go to where the family can spend more time with the kids and so on. So, and the registration, maybe I'll cut to Fatli in terms of registration, online, and also buying the ticket.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can log on to our website, EcoKnights.org.my,
Right.
and then there's a link to how you can register and donate your 30 ringgit. And you will also receive like a ticket for you to exchange to the product.
Yeah, and the ticket price, after you pay the 30 ringgit, actually, you can actually use the ticket as a cash voucher to buy anything in any of the Aveda store, actually.
Yeah. I see.
Yes.
Well done, well done.
Yeah.
And finally, from Yasmin, for all of us here watching, you know, either you're living in a suburb or in a rural area, how can we ensure that our water supply is clean? Is there any part that we can do?
I think it's very important to educate our children. If you look at it, maybe we have made some mistakes in our past with how we manage water, and we're suffering the repercussions now. But if you look at the future generation, they're really the ones that will actually face water scarcity at higher intensities. So if anything, this would be a good campaign to bring a family out. Children under 12 are not charged to participate. And in the past, we've had actually very strong support from family units coming aboard. And the campaign is not just walking aimlessly. We actually have water checkpoints, and these are actually checkpoints where the point of education is delivered to anyone who's interested to know about how do you filter water, how do you start identifying with water tips that you can do at home. So it's, of course, a fundraising campaign, but most importantly, it's also an educational platform. So bring your family on board. We've had parents bring babies in their strollers and so forth. So it's really a fun event. And if there's one tip I like to leave with everyone is to actually be aware of what you use every day. There's this thing called virtual water where people don't know much about, which means every shoe you buy, every clothing you wear, the car you drive, all that takes water to make. But we're not really sensitive that water is such an important commodity. So hopefully the listeners of the show and viewers of the show would be, after today, be a little bit more sensitive to water around you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to all three of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yes, we learned about water, and the next time you turn on the tap or use a shower or use anything to flush out with water, remember it's a very precious resource. And just make sure that you're careful when you're using it and appreciate this very precious resource. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we have more. We're going to be talking about the bond between a mother and her child.